Hey everyone, it's Tony from Retiree's Benefits here. If you've been checking your bank account hoping for some extra help, or scrolling through social media trying to figure out what's actually happening with stimulus checks, I need you to stay with me for this entire video. Because what I'm about to share affects millions of Americans right now, and there are some major announcements coming that could put money directly in your pocket. I spent hours going through the official reports and policy documents so you don't have to. And I'm going to break this down in plain English. No confusing jargon, just the facts you need to know. But first, I want to share something personal with you. 3 years ago, I was in a really tough spot. I was between jobs, bills were piling up, and I felt like I was drowning. I remember the stress of waiting for my unemployment deposit, not knowing if it would cover groceries and rent. That feeling of constantly checking your bank account, hoping something will appear, I've been there. That's exactly why I started this channel. Because when you're struggling financially, you need clear, honest information. Not clickbait, not false hope, just the truth about what help is actually available. And that's what today's video is all about. So let's dive in. Here's what's happening right now. While there isn't a new federal stimulus check being sent to everyone like we saw during the pandemic, there are several significant financial relief programs and announcements that are actively rolling out. And depending on your situation, you could be eligible for payments ranging from a few $100s to several thousand. I know that might sound disappointing if you were hoping for another $1 400 check like before. But here's the thing. What's coming is actually more targeted. And for some people, it could mean even more money than those earlier stimulus payments. So what's the goal of these programs? According to policy documents I've reviewed, the focus has shifted from broad pandemic relief to targeted support for Americans who are still struggling with the aftermath, specifically those dealing with inflation, high costs of living, and gaps in traditional safety net programs. The government is basically saying, we know everything costs more, we know wages haven't kept up, and we're trying to get help to the people who need it most. Now let's talk about who's actually affected by these upcoming announcements. And I want to be really specific here because this matters. Parents and families. If you have kids, there are several programs you need to know about. The expanded child tax credit discussions are heating up again, and some states are already issuing their own child relief payments. Veterans. There are benefit increases and back pay settlements that could affect millions of veterans and their families. If you served, or if someone in your family served, you need to hear this. People with disabilities, SSDI and SSI recipients. There are payment adjustments coming, and yes, this includes the annual COLA increase. But there's more beyond that. The unemployed and underemployed. If you've been struggling to find work, or you're working but still can't make ends meet, there are state-level relief programs launching that you might qualify for. Seniors on Social Security. Beyond the standard cost of living adjustment, some states are providing additional relief checks specifically for seniors. Low-income families in general. Even if you don't fit into these specific categories, there are federal and state programs expanding that could help you. Okay, so what's actually changing? Let me break this down into 3 main categories. First, Social Security and SSI increases. The 2025 Social Security COLA increase is 2.5%. Now, I know what you're thinking. That doesn't sound like much, and you're right to feel that way. For the average recipient, we're talking about an extra $50 to $60 per month. But here's what the announcement actually means in real numbers. If you're currently receiving $1.900 a month in Social Security, you'll see an increase to about $1.950. Every little bit helps, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. With grocery prices still sky high, this isn't the relief many people were hoping for. Second, state-level stimulus and relief programs. This is where things get more interesting. At least 12 states are either currently sending out relief checks or have announced plans to do so in the coming months. California, for example, has the middle-class tax refund program that's still processing payments. New Mexico has issued tax rebates up to $1,000 for qualifying residents. Colorado, Virginia, and several other states have similar programs. The amounts vary wildly, anywhere from $200 to $1, $500 depending on your state and circumstances, and the eligibility requirements are different for each state. Third, Expanded tax credits and benefits. The IRS has announced that millions of Americans who didn't claim certain credits in previous years could still be eligible for retroactive payments. We're talking about the Retiree rebate credit, earned income tax credit, and child tax credit from prior years. According to the IRS, there's literally billions of dollars in unclaimed refunds sitting there waiting for people who simply didn't file or didn't know they were eligible. Now, I promised you I'd balance the bad news with the good news, so let's talk about the positive side of all this. The good news is that, unlike the broad stimulus checks from 2020 and 2021, these targeted programs often provide more money to the people who need it most. If you're a single parent with 2 kids, for example, some state programs combined with federal credits could actually give you more relief than a one-time $1 check ever did. Second piece of good news, many of these programs don't require a complicated application. If you're already receiving benefits like SNAP, Social Security, or Medicaid, you're automatically enrolled in several state relief programs. The money just shows up. And here's something really important that not enough people are talking about. The expanded Earned Income Tax Credit is still available. For families with 3 or more children, this credit can be worth over $7,000. That's not a typo, $7,000. And millions of eligible people aren't claiming it because they don't realize they qualify. But I'm not going to lie to you. There are challenges with all of this. The biggest issue is that information is scattered everywhere. State programs aren't coordinated with federal programs. Some announcements get made and then delayed. Eligibility requirements change. It's genuinely confusing, even for people who do this for a living. The second challenge is timing. Some of these relief payments are already going out. Others won't arrive until late 2025. And a few are still being debated in state legislatures and might not happen at all. And finally, and this is hard to say, some of you watching this won't qualify for any of these programs. The income thresholds are stricter than they were for pandemic stimulus checks. If you're making over $75,000 as an individual or $150,000 as a couple, most of these benefits phase out quickly. So what do you actually need to do right now? Here's my action plan for you. Action 1. Check your state's Department of Revenue or Taxation website. Search for Your State Relief Payments 2025 or Your State Stimulus. Many state programs require you to file a tax return to receive the payment, even if you don't owe taxes. Action 2. If you haven't filed your 2023 or 2024 tax returns yet, do IT. Even if you don't think you owe anything, or you don't think you'll get anything back. The Earned Income Tax Credit and other refundable credits could mean thousands of dollars for you. Action 3. If you're receiving Social Security, or SSI, make sure the Social Security Administration has your correct direct deposit information. The COLA increase is automatic, but if your banking info is outdated, there will be delays. Action 4. Sign up for your state's alert systems. Many states send out emails or text messages when new relief programs are announced. Don't rely on social media or YouTube to catch everything. Action 5. If you're struggling right now, like really struggling, don't wait for these announcements. Look into emergency assistance programs in your area. Check with 211.org, local churches, food banks, and community organizations. There's help available right now, today, not months from now. Look, I want to be real with you for a minute. I know a lot of people are struggling. I read the comments on this channel, I hear from you, and I know that what I've shared today might feel like small potatoes compared to what you're dealing with. An extra $50 a month from Social Security isn't going to solve everything. A $500 state rebate is great, but it's not life-changing when you're behind on rent. But here's what I believe. Every single dollar counts. And knowing what you're eligible for, knowing what's coming, knowing where to look, that knowledge is power. It's the difference between getting help and missing out because you didn't know it existed. So what's coming next? There are ongoing discussions at the federal level about expanding the child tax credit again. Some lawmakers are pushing for it, but it's tied up in larger budget negotiations. If it passes, it could mean monthly payments to families again like we saw in 2021. There's also talk of more targeted relief for people affected by natural disasters, economic disruptions, and specific industries that are still recovering. I'll be watching all of this closely, and as soon as there are concrete announcements, you'll see a video from me breaking it down. Here's what I need you to remember. You are not alone in this. Millions of Americans are in the same boat, trying to figure out how to make ends meet while everything keeps getting more expensive. The help that's available might not be perfect, but it's there. And my job is to help you find it. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Check out my other videos where I break down specific programs state by state. There's a link in the description. Drop a comment and let me know what state you're in and what kind of help you're looking for. I read every single comment, and your questions often inspire my next videos. And most importantly, don't give up. Keep pushing, keep looking for help. Keep taking care of yourself and your family. You've made it this far, and you're going to make it through this too. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.